So hi everyone, my name is Sagar Kakkala and today we are here for DevOps session. We are at day 12, we just finished DevOps and we'll be entering into DevSecOps today. And apart from DevOps, I also do content in bit of other stuff, like it's bit of diversified in Sagar Kakkala's world. It's more like you have podcast, finance and some bit of content in Telugu as well. So I'll just share screen how to split content, how things work here, just to know. You just have to remember my name. You could just search in Google. I don't know why my keyboard stopped working now. Um, 1 second. 1 second. Is it my keyboard or something? Okay, it's Chrome. Mm, Okay, I think I had an issue with Chrome. I'll just rejoin. Just give me a minute. Yes. Okay, let me extend the screen. So how Sagar Kakkala's things works here is you just have to remember my name, Sagar Kakkala. Okay. Uh,
Sagar, your voice is not audible.
oh, now? Oh, sorry, I'm on mute. Yes, yes, sorry. Yeah. So you just have to remember my name, Sagar Kakkala, and then you'll have my website, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And in website, everything is divided by contents of blog. Like here you have DevOps and finance. And in same way, in YouTube, this is my LinkedIn and YouTube, everything is separated by playlists. Let's say you'll have the main playlist inside a home directory itself. And here, because everything is interlinked, I would request whoever join you to watch from day zero because it's more like a project that we are building up from scratch. Mm. So let's go for DevSecOps. Like here in DevSecOps, let's say just we finished with DevSecOps. Like mostly you could say we finished with integrating and connecting tools, but we were doing security things. Let's say for our project to be more secure, so we would be doing before deploying or even after code. Like as part of this session, we'll be talking about SonarQube and Trivy. So you could say SonarQube. Maybe you might heard it a lot of times. SonarQube is mostly yes, it's mostly a tool which helps in code coverage and quality gates and everything. Let's say a developer had written a code here and before this code is deployed, because the code is the one which start gets building before even the code is built into a image or packaged or anything. So the code would have the sonar quality checks first. It's like the first level of security that we are keeping. Let's say immediate, without even packing, let's say developer had written 2 to 3 lines of duplicate lines of codes, or there are any bugs in the code, depending on the language, whether it's Java, Python, or React. And you could even set the quality gates, custom quality gates. And it's even discussed inside the team how many bugs could be allowed, how many vulnerabilities could be allowed in the code, based on the criteria. Only when the code passes this sonar cube checks, it will be going for packaging. Till this part is clear, we'll go into. And as a DevOps guy, we don't need much of what are the bugs and to resolve the bugs and everything. As a DevOps, we need only thing is to configure SonarQube. That's it. That's more than enough. As a part of DevOps. So we'll be studying here on how to configure SonarQube. Once SonarQube is done, we'll be having trivia as well in this same session. So till here, you have no queries, right? Yes. Okay. And I don't want to have complete build and everything for this session. What I did is like I removed everything from the code. It's just like I want to check only the code quality gates and nothing more. So for that, what I did was I had created a separate repo and which would have only SonarQube lines. Just say like in Jenkins file, like which we'll see further. It doesn't have like Jenkins doesn't have like build and deploy step compared to other repos. Let's say in other repos you have build and deployment. I would even tell I would even tell like why I removed that. It's because I just want to save an amount of money, like because I don't want to run every time. Let's say in this Jenkins file, you have the build, you have deployment. Like if you want to like have SonarQube and build and deploy, I would ask you to like use this file because I would just want to use SonarQube checking and I don't want to like build and deploy now because it's mostly just the vulnerability checks. I used only this like a simple file. So we'll start like integrating with Jenkins as well, like Jenkins. Okay, I stopped this. Fine. I'm just taking two instances here as part of demo. And let's say I'll actually, okay, I actually, this is something I configured recently. So I'll check the inbound rules because Jenkins works under 8080. Okay, okay. I load 8080 for it, right? Okay, it should be HTTP. Because I lost my last Jenkins server, that's where I had to configure again. So instead of this, I don't need OWASP here. I don't need credentials binding, workspace cleanup, okay. And I don't need Gradle, I don't need at the same time. Okay, no, I don't need this. Yeah, meanwhile, while it's building up, let's launch another instance for SonarQube. I'm just taking T3 medium. Channel. And here, SonarQube is something like we'll be running with mm, Docker. So for that, like I had the blog prepared already. So just like where is this configure SonarQube and Trivy. So this is something a blog which I got from Medium, which explained it clearly. So that's why I used the same blog instead of like creating a blog. And as well, like if you want to have a database, like you could even have the database for SonarQube as well, but here we are using local database. As you could see, Sonar uses local H2 database, like which is inside the server, and actually it's not recommended. Like while in the organizations, like where we have like Oracle DB or Postgres DB, like to have this DB configured, which I'll even show like how to configure that as well. But here, just to save costs, we are not going for an external DB as this is just a demo project. So first thing, like for having SonarQube is just I'm installing Docker. And in the same blog, mm, yes, it's Docker prerequisite is SonarQube. Okay, I'll just continue as admin. Here, new item, pipeline. Okay. You just can ignore these everything because we are not actually triggering GitHub, like we'll be doing manual builds. And this is the one. Repository URL is gonna be this. Okay, there are, it's not a credentials. So instead of master, it is main. Okay, first thing is configure. No, next. This is actually prerequisite setup, like which I had to do before the session. But yes, it's just like I installed Jenkins and I was just installing Docker in SonarQube. And from here, like we'll follow the blog.
Sagar, this is Ubuntu server.
Yes. Okay, this is a medium blog which is created by someone. It adds in SonarQube instead of because I felt like it's good to use the same blog instead of creating the blog to save time as well. Okay, SonarQube is ready. Now Docker pull SonarQube. Okay, it should be like sudo docker pull SonarQube. It's just pulling the public image. And now next. Okay. By default, SonarQube runs on port 9000, just like Jenkins runs on port 8080. And meanwhile, while it's running, let's also, because we want this to be running on 9090, we'll be accessing via that port. I'm just opening that port here.
It should be 9000, no?
No, 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 no.
SonarQube.
9090, right? One second, let me check. Oh, sorry. Yeah,
I think
9000. Sorry, sorry. My bad. Yes. Thank you. Ah, okay. Okay, we have our sonar running inside this server at 9000 port. Okay, I don't know why. Hmm, what happened? Refused to connect. SonarQube. Okay, yes, it's 9000. Should be connecting. Or 90. Mm, no. Okay, it connected now. Fine, great. Mm, mm, mm. It may take some time at the initial loading. Let's wait. Uh. Mm.
And we have used some Docker commands now here, Sagar. Why we have used that Docker commands?
Ah, I told it in Docker session, right? Each and every step I explained there. So it's like first step is let's say Docker pull is like pulls image from Docker Hub. So let's say like what it does is let's go.
No, we can do it from CI/CD Jenkins also, right? Jenkins pipeline also.
Yes, you could actually install from there itself, but like I don't want to load the Jenkins server. That's it. That's where I actually created separate repo and I was creating separate server. I just want to like delete after this session is there just to save costs. And if you
Okay.
want to, let's say, like if you want to run the project every time, like if you want to run the SonarQube, I would suggest like use this completely because I just want to have like only the demo purpose. So I removed these lines. Once the demo is done, uh, I'll just would not use SonarQube again. It's just like to show how it's configured. That's it.
So, okay, instead of using Jenkins server separately, you are
Mm,
using SonarQube only, and
mm.
you are doing entire setup in that server only.
Yes, so that like post once the session is done, I'll delete the SonarQube server. That's it. And I
Okay,
can
got
use
it.
Jenkins as usual. It's just like I'm
Okay.
removing dependency. That's it. Yeah, and like when you configured SonarQube, it'll be the password would be admin first, and post that you could just change. Here, once it's done, like you'll go for account, security. Let's say I'm generating a token here. You could actually keep 30 days or 90 days depending on like if you are going to use till the project completes. I would suggest like go for 1 year or something, but I'm just going for this. Like we got a token. Now, why is this token needed? It's for Jenkins to access this SonarQube, and for that, like we can't have like password authentication, so that is why like we are using this. Mm-mm. Let's say like we'll go for let's save this somewhere. Like if we forget this, then that's it. So where's my notepad? Mm, Yeah, we'll go for Jenkins, manage Jenkins, and then credentials. I'm just giving it global. Add credentials. So instead of username with password, select secret text and then just to be sure is that's what I pasted. Okay. I'm just giving this as sonar token. Sonar token create. So one part was done. Like what we did, like we generated a token and we had given it for our Jenkins to access it. Next thing, like since our SonarQube is already installed, but one more thing like we want to have is like SonarQube scanner, which you could actually install it in the server or even via Jenkins. So let's say like there are like plugins available just for Jenkins itself. Like the first thing would be like plugins, and this is actually the main tool which actually scans. Let's say like it actually scans the code and everything. Yeah, you have like SonarQube scanner. We'll just install this. Okay, it's successful. Once it's installed, here in the tools, only once you install the plugin, you would get this SonarQube installation. You could say something like SonarQube scanner, and it could be latest or anything. It's your call. Like you could install the different versions as well. So just apply, save, and once that is done, like the other thing which we want to do was like system. Yeah, this is a SonarQube server which we want actually. Because scanner is something like which will help us scan the code, and here the URL, like what's the URL here? Okay, okay, it's a different scanner. Okay, got it. Okay, fine. So this would be our SonarQube URL here, and if you are installing in the same machine as Jenkins, you could actually keep like localhost 900, and authentication is the like secret that we generated. So this part is actually configuring in Jenkins, like SonarQube, like we just what we did. We had installed Docker, we had like run the Docker image of SonarQube, and we were installing like SonarQube scanner from Jenkins, and we were accessing from Jenkins to SonarQube, like via secret. So that's like Jenkins part was done. Now for our project to have this SonarQube, we'll go for projects. Could just like create a local project key name. Yeah, could be something like this, Sagar Kakkala's World project. Maybe let's say because I don't want keys to be messed up with other projects. That's it. Uh, let's give something else. So this key is very important thing. Once like SonarCube demo, I think yeah, both are the same. Just click on use global settings, create project. Once you had done this, like what I'd suggest, like inside the repo, create a file called sonarproject.properties. I think like this is not the one that I'm using. So this one. So inside project's root file, let's say root is nothing but like inside main when you get, like it should not be inside folder, it should be inside root. So once that's there, like you had to create like sonar project.properties file. Once that is created, you just have to give the key name, whatever you had given there. Yes. And one more thing for our Jenkins file, because it's being run by Jenkins, we had to give the exact names must match. Let's say the credentials ID, because I've already configured, that's why I was like not giving the names. Here, the tool would be like scanner home. Here, the tool would be SonarQube scanner. How it's named is simply the way you named it here. Let's say in tools, whatever you had given the name here, it's SonarQube scanner. It must match the same thing here as well, because we are installing this tool and we're asking Jenkins to have this. So it's just like the same name. And here is the Sonar token. I'm not sure if I created the same one thing, and manage Jenkins and credentials. Yes, this name is like Sonar token. So the same thing which I had given there as well. Okay. Yeah, Sonar token. And SonarQube server, this installation name is something where we had done it in the system. Let's say manage Jenkins system. Yes, SonarQube server. The names must exactly match. Like if you give capital here, you had to give capital there as well. So the names must exactly match for Jenkins to know like what tool and what server it's using. Hmm, Yes. So once this is done, I think yeah, we'll just go for Jenkins dashboard goal set, because it has that Jenkins files. Like we'll just give build now. Let's see. Mm, yes. Okay, I think it might take a bit of time. Like meanwhile, let's go for trivia as well. Uh, no, Trivy is something just like it's a new tool in the market that actually does our the scanning of images like Docker images. Maybe let's say like once you had formed code was checked and now Docker image was built, and before Docker image is being pushed to Docker Hub, you could even recheck the image, like if image has any vulnerabilities or not. Maybe I could actually show with the diagram itself. Okay, not this. Mm. Yes, let's say like we have a GitHub like code here and it's triggered by webhook, and the first thing would be like SonarQube quality checks like which we are doing. And once it's done, as you had seen the full file, like it might have actually like build the file. It goes for Ansible, it actually builds in build script and it builds a Docker image. And once the Docker image is built, like there is Trivy. And Trivy, what it does, it actually checks the image if there are any vulnerabilities or not, and if there are any vulnerabilities, it will be sent via mail or Slack to DevOps or some engineers. And based on if the vulnerabilities could be fixed or even reduced, we would do that. And like once like the vulnerability is the max of your fix, like we'll be pushing to Docker Hub. The code level is the first level of security, and now image is second level of security. Yes, clear on the this part, right? We'll see. Okay, the SonarQube is successful. Let's see. Mm. As you could see, it has like reliability, open issues, code coverage. Okay. So now we got this. Remove this commented out code. Okay. It actually cleans the code as well. Remove this unused import of categories. Extract the assignment from product list from this expression. This is something where developer could check to reduce these like reliabilities and like vulnerabilities and everything. So making our code clean. Good that like there are no security hotspots. This is something for developers to check, clearing the things like not using, repeating the lines of code is not advisable, and as well like duplicating the codes or few things and like which are being not used, let's say as it suggested, consider using for each instead of map. So it's like the level of security it's increasing. Till the SonarQube part is clear, right? Like I'm going to delete this instance just to save costs now. Yes, this is something from the DevOps perspective. Only our point is to like configure. That's it. You guys are clear on configurations, right? Yes or no? Okay, a thumbs up. Thank you. Unmute and speak if you guys can. Yes.
Yeah, it's fine, Sagar.
Okay. Thank you. I'll just terminate this instance just to save cost. That's it. Nothing more. And I'll use this Jenkins for the next projects. That's it. And now, for R, because we want to scan the Docker image, and the Docker image is already there in like build server. So our images, Docker images are there in build server. Actually, you could do it. Okay, SonarQube, I shut it down, but wherever the Docker images are there, you could actually install Trivy there and check your image. Or even if you install normally, it would actually scan the public images. Let's say if I want to scan this image of Docker, Docker, like SonarQube image, like even if I do not make it, I could even still scan that. So that facility, like uh, that facility would be given by Trivy. Okay, yes, this is the one. So now if I go for Trivy, and one more thing is like this actually command is failing because like apt-get is no more or something, and actually if not in just in this case, because in every blog I had kept the official documentation as well. If you feel like this command that here is there is not working fine, or it has any discrepancies, or it's not being installing or something, you would find it in any blog in Sagar Kakkala's world. There is official documentation as well, so you will just go for official documentation and you would use the exact one. Maybe I could just show like why it's failing as well. Let's go for mm, 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 let me use my thing because it was updated a long ago. So that's where let's say if I actually use this. Okay, as you could see, apt-get is depreciated. Managing key files is something like I got the error, and like the Trivy was not installed properly, like before when I was trying. That is where I went for the official documentation. It's just like a troubleshooting step. Like if you can't and get something in blog, I would ask you to just use the official documents. Okay, just to check the Trivy version. Okay, Trivy is installed. Now if I check, this one is actually like not there in our repo. Maybe I'm not sure if that Docker Hub account is the previous account that I created. Let's see if it is still there or not. As you could see, this is actually not there inside our server, but it actually got the image and it showed like 50 vulnerabilities. So that's one thing. And now let's actually like scan the image which is present in our repo. So one was React Micro K8s. So I'll just give like Trivy. Okay, it should be like sudo because React microcaches is created using sudo. So as you could see, there are seven vulnerabilities. And why? Because I was using Alpine image. As simple as that, like if I go for gold Docker file, I was using Nginx Alpine image. So what I did actually now, just to show you the difference, because it has only seven vulnerabilities, let's say like being a DevOps engineer or something, I want to reduce the vulnerabilities as much as possible and to check like if any other image is compatible or not. What I would do, because it's like Alpine, let's go for, because it's go for Nginx Docker Hub. Yes, we'll create another image now. So Nginx is the one. And where is the Alpine tag that I used? Okay, here is the Alpine tag, and the latest tag is 1.274 or 1.27.4. I'll use that tag now just to see if that can reduce our vulnerabilities or not. Yes, as part of that, I created a Docker file already. It's the same Docker file I copied. So instead of, because I was using latest image, instead of Alpine image, I'll be using 1.27. What's the name? Where is this? Yes. 1.27.4 Alpine. Okay. It's the same image that I'm using. But here, this build folder is formed during our deployment, and I just want to have this build folder. I manually copied the build folder from our S3 bucket, where we had saved as a part of last previous session, like build artifactories. So I just got that there from here, build. Okay, 1 second. I'll just remove this. Okay. Minus T, what would we give the name? Hmm, Trivy test. Since it's named as Docker file already, so by default, Docker build searches for Docker file naming convention itself. And if you do not give Docker file, as I said in earlier sessions, it's like minus F and gold Docker file if you are giving like different file, that's it. Now let's see. Okay, so the latest one is formed. Now let's give like Trivy test if it reduced any vulnerabilities or not. Okay, it should be sudo. Okay, it has the same vulnerability as the previous one. Then one more thing I could do is like just to show you because this seven vulnerabilities is fine. What if I use the latest one? Because Alpine is actually a lightweight image. I'm actually using other thing which could actually show like which is better for us now. Let's say Trivy test. Yeah, Trivy test 2. Okay, it formed. As you could see, this has like almost 149 vulnerabilities. So instead of using like based on the libraries or something, like if I need, because here we are just deploying an Nginx, we don't need that many libraries. But that's why like it has like a high image more than Nginx. Like based on like 149 vulnerabilities or even seven vulnerabilities, I would like easily pick up this because it has only one vulnerability and nothing more, and it has like these many vulnerabilities, the latest image. And sometimes it even gives the fixed version as well. I think yes, It did not give here, but you would have like installed version and fixed version as well here. Based on that, you could update your libraries yourself in the container as well. That's another way to fix the image vulnerabilities. Let's say the maximum number of vulnerabilities you would reduce, and that's when like you could actually send that into your Docker Hub. That's second level of security. And yes, yeah, you could actually check only like high and critical, and also you could output yours into JSON file. Let's say, let's output this into JSON. It's like Trivy test2. Trivy command not found. Uh, okay. Yeah, it's actually in report.json now. So it's everything in a JSON format. JSON format is something like we'd use in DevOps just to call the variable. Let's say severity.source. You could actually call an easy calling in the code if it's in JSON format. That's it. And I think there is something in did I kept like there? It could actually use to scan the file system as well. Hmm. So if in DevSecOps perspective, here like we're doing two things. Like if you talk about the architecture again, this would not be the complete architecture yet, but it's more like once the Jenkins what it does, like it checks for SonarQube, and next like it builds, and then like in the build, like it builds the Docker image, and the Docker image, this is first level of security, and second level of security, like where we have like Trivy checking for Docker image vulnerabilities, and we would be as a DevOps engineer will fix the maximum vulnerabilities or like try to see what version could actually fix latest vulnerabilities. Once that is done, the investigation is done, the images would be pushed to Docker Hub, and these images would be actually deployed and which will have our application. Till this part, everyone is clear, right? Yes, no?
Yes, Sagar, I'm having a small query.
Mm,
It's like a scenario. If we are not using the Trivy and we are not using the SonarQube,
mm,
SonarQube we will use and Trivy is a advanced tool.
mm,
So in some organizations, if they don't use the Trivy, what is the loss the organization will face? Like what kind of if we are using Trivy, yeah, there will be a vulnerability issues will be mitigated. I got that.
mm.
But if they don't use Trivy, how they will
N-
do the deployments and all?
Actually, you could do the deployments. Like these are vulnerabilities which are, let's say, because we now scanned the image of because the vulnerabilities which we got are from Nginx, not from the image which we built. It's just a showcase that I did. It is something like Nginx has to fix. We can't fix this. So, but inside libraries, like we could update. Let's say I was just showing in case you built the image, and the image, if you are using and if you are having libraries, you could actually do. But most cases, we will be using the baseline image as official images, which we can't handle it. So, and like mostly these vulnerabilities would be like negligible or could be ignored as well. Even like other organizations which I use, even they don't use this. And instead of that, let's say once the deployment is done, there are other security measures as well that could be done, like OWASP ZAP as well, which we will discuss in further sessions. So it's just one of security measures, so you could implement or like you could just ignore it as well. 1 second, I'll stop the recording just to not extend this.